Lovers, how are you? I hope you are doing well. And today, this is the first video about how to play chess. I already uploaded many videos, but from the very beginning, if I'm telling about your chess board, so it's a board which has around 8 rows and 8 columns. So total 64. Total 64 blocks are there, dark color block and white color block. You may see this light and dark. Okay, there is a written A B C D E F G H, and same way you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So my dear, when we give the name of the first board, so this is what A1. What A1? So you basically give the name of this board A1. This is B1. This is C1. Then D1. Then E1, F1, G1, H1. So first row is complete such a way. Every block is called a file. So A1 is what? A file. A1 is a file or block. B1 is a file or block. Suppose that we need to find out the name of this block. So this is D from, you can see D row lie and the column is 5. So D5. So the name of this file is D5. I hope clear. You can also give the name of the rest block. So such a way we just find out how a piece move. Now the second question, when we move the pieces in chess, so there are 8 pawn. If I'm give you the name of pieces, so now you can see there are 8 pawn. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and your opponent, this is your opponent. Always remember this side is you. So you also have a light pieces having the pawn. You also have a 8 pawn, and if I am telling you the position of every pawn, so suppose this white pawn. So for this white pawn, already I informed you. Here is written A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Always write. Remember, 1 is basically with the light pieces. So this is what A1. So the position, sorry, A2. The position of this pawn is A2. This is B2. This is C2. This is D2. This is E2, this is F2, this is G2, this is H2. So name of the pawn I give you. Your opponent also has. So this pawn is basically A7. Why? Because A here and 7 you can see. So A7, B7, C7, D7, E7, F7, G7, H7. Okay. So notation of pawn completed, I think. Now we have more pieces. The corner are set with rooks. They are called rook. R-O-O-K, rook. We have 2 rook. This is A1 rook. This is H1. So extreme corner occupied by a rook. Similarly, dark pieces has 2 rook. So dark pieces has 2 rook. So this rook is basically last one A8. A8 rook, and you also have one more H8 rook. So we have 2 rooks position at the corner, A8 and H8. Why? Because from the alphabet order, this lie on A and from the column wise, this is lie on 8. So A8, and this says H8. Now, after rook, there is a knight. Both second corner occupied by the knight. So white knight has a position B1 and G1, while black knight has a position B8 and G8. So these position for the knight. The next is bishop. B-I-S-H-O-P, bishop. We have two bishop. Bishop is just before the queen and king. One is the light and dark pieces we have. So in dark pieces, one is white bishop. It means that only goes to the white files or white blocks, white file or white blocks. Well, dark black bishop always goes to black blocks or black file. So such a way bishop move. Always remember, bishop cannot cross any piece. I just make this arrow to understand you how it move. Otherwise, first of all, you remove the pieces whatever in their way, then it start to move. Okay, so the next is king and queen. Queen is the strongest piece in entire game. So this is our queen. This is the strongest piece in chess. And then king. King is just try to save most of the game queen play, because it considers a king, but it's also the choice of the player. Some players play beautifully with the knight, some players play with a rook. So this is your choice. This is maybe your personal decision which pieces you like most. So we have a queen. Queen can be moved vertically or diagonally. It means straight and diagonally, both move. It's a, you can say the combination of a queen is just combination of rook and bishop. This is the combination of both. Okay, so such a way we set the pieces. Always remember, the standard game, queen opposite to each other, king opposite to each other. They both opposite to each other. Now there is some rules that I want to share to you. It's written there. For example, the king begin a game of on e1. Even actually the position of the king, and d1 is position of the queen for the white pieces or light pieces. E8 position of the king, dark pieces, and d8 position of the queen of the dark pieces. Now this is the X symbol which is used when you capture the pieces. When you capture the pieces in chess, then you try to write down the X. And what is the capture? Capture means you just taken out the pieces of your opponent. Okay, and such a way is written. I practically show you these all the things. Now check. Check is what? Check basically is the indication for your opponent. When you say check, it means the king is in threat, so he can or she can move the king and save block or save file. Now these are all the symbols in game. When we start to play game, so K for the king, Q for the queen, R for the rook, B for the bishop, and N for the knight. It may be started with the K, but later N is used for it. So there are some symbols. It means capturing the piece, take or capture the piece. This is castle king side. When you castle the king side, so there is a two block on this. For example, I just show these things by wait. Now see this first one. So here is a, if I am just trying to explain you the castle, when you remove this piece and you remove this piece, both pieces gone. Then king, if castle king side, it means shift in this position, it shift in this position. So two pieces removed. So 2O represent king side castle. 2O. Wait. So this is a king side. But if the same thing we do in this side, so we need to remove the queen also, bishop also, and knight also. So 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces we remove from this side. So then king shift this position and knight shift in this bishop position. So such thing is called queen side castle. So 3O represent queen side castle. So there are two kind of the castle. King side castle, for it we use OO, and queen side castle, for it we use OOO. Okay, I hope you understand. Now this plus indicates check. Plus symbol indicates for check. This is check. Now if king has no choice to move any block or all files are blocked by the opponent, then it's a checkmate. It means your opponent win the game. If you make checkmate, you win the game. This symbol explains that you play a very good move. Question mark is a bad move, and if you make a blunder, it means that you get an opportunity to capture the queen of your opponent and you just refuse it. Okay, that could change your game. So this is in place of the blunder. Bad move is a kind of a move you need to pay attention, but blunder may change your game completely. So please be aware about the blunder. Now, so here is a E4. Now, this is the name of the moves, E4. E4 means what? You just use your pawn which is in position E2 and it start to move 2 blocks. So first move for every pawn can be 2 moves. And then it moves single move only. Always remember the move of the pawn. Pawn can move 2 in the first move, then single move. When it start to capture the piece, so capturing pieces is diagonal wise, single diagonal. Such a way it capture. For example, your opponent play here, so you can capture such a way. Diagonally, one block, capture. So every pawn, every single pawn. For example, if you move this pawn, so this can be moved in such a way. Then only one. Then only one. Okay, so these are the moves of the pawn. Same your opponent can do. So E5, it means what? E5, just suppose your opponent play and you play BC4. BC4 indicate your bishop move from this position, from a position to C4. This is called BC4. For example, if you move your knight in this position, so it is called NC3. NC3. So there are so many ways. There are so many ways you can move your pieces, but always remember you need to give the particular name, and you must aware, because in every chess app there is a name of the move. So many new players or beginners, they can move the pieces, but they do not have how to give the name of the move. So this is very easiest way, I think, I'm explaining today. So when you move your knight in such a position, knight has a quality that it can jump any move, jump any pieces. Suppose this is your pawn is here, but knight can jump it, no issues for the knight. So when knight jump in this position, this is what, and c3. If it jump in this position, this is what, and a3. And suppose knight move in this position, suppose that after this pawn, so this is called n d2. So there are so many ways knight can move, and similarly your bishop can move, but always remember the indication in this way. Now h6. H6 is what actually your opponent play with this. He put in position h6, so this move is called h6 move. Now suppose you start to play with your queen. Your queen in position of, this is qh5. What? qh5. Why q? For queen, h5 means it go in position of h5. So this is qh5. nf6, your opponent play, and your opponent play with the blunder. That's why it's 2 question mark here. So when your opponent play nf6, so when we move, see this move in nf6, what it did, the knight jump this piece. The knight jump this piece. So this is what, this is nf6 means knight play or knight move in f6 file or in f6 block. qx f7, it means what? qx f7, and there is a hash. q means queen, x f7 means capture the position of a block, a piece which is in f7. So qx f7 means capture, and hash means checkmate. Hashtag means checkmate. So in this way we just understand about the name of these symbol. Now it's a good idea, record your game, and when you record your game, you find out the mistakes of your game and you improve your game. So please record your game. Actually now files are the row of square. These are the files I already explained. They are the rank. Yeah, this is important. Column are file and row are rank, and every row and column has block. Diagonal means a slant line. If you draw from A1 to H8, so this line is what, this is called a diagonal, and all the block that cover the line are called diagonals. Okay, now some simple rules are there. The pieces in chess, your pieces and pawn, they can move vacant empty squares. They can capture your enemy chessman. Only piece never be capture the king, and no piece capture the king. King must be first time threat, and if king has no choice to move anywhere, so it's considered as a checkmate. No pawn come backward, except of the pawn. All piece can come backwards, but no pawn can backward. If pawn moves step ahead, so it go always forward, not backward. For example, this pawn this pawn never come back. Okay, other pieces can come, bishop can come, rook can come, queen can come, but no pawn come back. Okay, now I hope clear. Please like it and subscribe this channel, because now I will try to put more videos on there, so can you understand in a better way. And if you need the videos in Hindi, you always also comment, so I just give you the videos in Hindi too. The chessmen, your army and that of your opponents. So each 8 pawn, the dark pawn and light pawn, both are opponent each other, so it's your enemy. Similarly knight, similarly bishops, similarly rook, similarly queen, similarly king. So 16, basically we can say one side 16 means, or 16 pieces, another side also 16 pieces. So total pieces in chessboard are 32. If each player has 60. Okay. Now, how to chessmen move? I just explain you. The pawn can go forward, never come backward, and pawn arrange in this way. The 7th rank for the black pawn and 2nd rank for the white pawn. Okay, when they start to move, so how a pawn capture? When pawn go forward, it never come back, and from the first time, suppose that there is a piece, pawn cannot go forward because one piece stop his move. Second, it always capture the pieces diagonally. This is called the fork. Fork, it means when pawn has an opportunity to capture 2 pieces together. Okay, so it is called a pawn fork. Pawn can capture this, pawn can capture this, if you give a support it. Otherwise, if this is a move for the black, so black can capture. Second, in point of view of the game, it's the lowest unit of entire pieces, but when a pawn goes to opponent's side, the last block, we can say, for example, suppose the white pawn go in this position, or in this position, or in this position, so any position. So basically they develop the pieces accordingly, your choice, except king. You may develop as a queen, you may develop as a king, knight, you may develop as a rook. This is your choice. Okay, now pawn has 1 point. It means when you capture your opponent's pawn and your opponent could not capture any piece, it means you gain 1 point. So plus 1 added in your side. And in such a way, again it's given that fork for the pawn. Your opponent must lose 1 piece, either knight, either rook, because when fork made, so this is happening. Knight has L-shaped move. Knight has L-shaped move. This is L shape. Such a way. L shape means what? Suppose 2 blocks are here, 1, 2, 1 block here. This is your knight move. This is your knight move. This is your knight move. Similarly, this is, and this also. So there are initial moves for the knight which is in the corner, but suppose that any knight in center, for example this one, you can see this is in center. So total moves are the knight. The first move for here, I just change the color up. This one, first move, suppose 1L, 2L, 3L, 4L, 5L, 6L, 7L, 8L. It means it can move in these places if it is center. And I think the most dangerous piece, make queen move anywhere, but if you have knight and you know how to use it now, so it has many opportunity to capture your pieces. I'll just give you one example. Just imagine your opponent rook is here, your opponent's rook is here, and queen is here, and bishop is here, suppose, and king is here. If knight is in this position now, it has an opportunity to capture any one of these four pieces. By the way, king is not part of the capturing, but rest three pieces. And obviously, if you try to save your queen, so before you need to save your king, so you have no choice except to capture your queen. So it means knight move, always remember, one of the toughest move. And if you learn all the moves of the knight, so I think you may a very nice player now. So actually knight has 3 points. If you capture 3 pawns of your opponent and you lose your knight, it means you both are equal, because 3 pawn means 3 point, 1 knight means 3 point. So basically knight has 3 points. Now bishop, as I already told you, bishop can move diagonally. For again the black bishop can, I just use the black color, black use black diagonal. Your white piece also in such a way. Now white move, I just use the white color for this, white, 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 white. You can say it's also a rectangle. I just use any other color. Yes, such a way, such a way, such a way, such a way. Okay. So do not confuse. Dark pieces has 2 bishop. One moves only in white blocks. One moves only in black blocks or dark block. Similarly, black pieces also have 2 bishops. So this is basically bishops. Now you can see, wait. You can see the moves of bishop and how they move in diagonally. So always remember this point. Now 3 pawn is equal to 1 bishop. Means if you capture a bishop, it means you capture equivalent to 3 pawn. Rook consider the second, I think after queen, rook considered as a strong piece because it can go straight. You have a rook, so this rook basically can move such a way, and your rook also moves such a way, such a way, such a way. So they 4 rook can go straight anywhere. They cannot move diagonally, but they can move backwards, they can move forward. So these are the moves of rook. Now one rook is equal to either 5 pawn or is equal to 1 bishop plus 3 pawn is equal to 1 knight plus 3 pawns. So always remember, when you are going to sacrifice your rook, and think that if you are gaining any piece more than 5 points or equivalent to 5 points, then you capture. Otherwise your rook is a strong piece. Do not sacrifice. By the way, sometime what happened, suppose that you are playing your game, and during that game what you exactly find out that if you sacrifice your strongest pin and yet you planned for checkmate of your opponent, so you can easily do that. So such a way you can sacrifice. Otherwise, try to avoid sacrifice your rook, because rook is the second strong piece in game. Okay, now it's turn of queen. So queen, we have two queen, this one and this one, and as already I told you, queen has the quality to move the diagonally and also can move straight. So you can see how strong moves for the queen. They can cover most of the squares. So queen is the strongest piece, and queen basically consider 9 points. It means if you capture the queen of your opponent, you gain 9 points here, which is equivalent to one rook, one bishop and one pawn, or one rook, one knight or one pawn. So always remember, do not sacrifice your queen until or unless you are going to make checkmate of your opponent. King basically has first quality of king is what? Castle. As I have told you, there is the two kind of the castle, king side castle and queen side castle, both you know. And the second move, just like a pawn cannot move backward and leftwards, rightwards, but king can move leftwards, rightwards, here. So one single block can move by the king. So this is a way how a king move. Now your opposition, suppose that just here, so your king cannot move in this position, even your opponent also not move, they may go to backwards. So this is the way how your king move. Now special moves for the chess. I think video go long, but I think every point I just explained. So please, if you watch till here, so stuck with me, because these are the last moves and that really help you to play the chess in a better way. So wait. So special moves is what? An attack on the king from the opponent side is called the check. You just show the chess such a way. For example, your rook in this position and the white king, so you just say check. It means bishop can capture. Okay, now you can see queen can capture the bishop, but queen set by your opponent queen, so you cannot do this. Okay, because it is 3 points, it is 9 points, so you cannot lose 6 more points. So there are two ways to save your king, either in position this one, okay, which is f1, or you can say I think this is e2. Okay, so such a way you can save your king. Now there are a way to save your king, and these are the safe square which is escape your king, and all the rules are there. Stalemate, basically I am just telling you, suppose that your opponent had the many pieces, and most of the time it happened that when you play very nice game and still game draw. How? Because suppose you just use your rook, your queen, your pawn, everything you are using, and what exactly happened? No single block for your opponent king where it can move, where the king can move. So this is called the stalemate. Stalemate means no chance has the king. Now one more rule, or the last rule I'm going to tell you today. Actually, suppose that your pawn in position of the c5, your opponent pawn basically in c7, your opponent move 2 steps ahead in this way, so you can capture it, just move diagonally. This is called impatient rule. This is very important rule, very important. Why very important? Because rarely player know than beginners player mostly. So okay, so you can capture when you position your pawns in the position of the d6, it means automatically captured. Okay, so this is called n%. What is this? n%. Okay, now drawing the game stalemate is what? I just talk about the stalemate. So this is the stalemate. In such a position, king has no choice to move anywhere. So stalemate means draw. Stalemate means what? Draw. Whether you have all the pieces, yet you draw the game. It means equal point divided you and your opponent. So please avoid the stalemate. Okay. So most of the things we get, and sometimes what happen? Insufficient material. What is insufficient material? Suppose you have a king and your opponent also has a king. So both have king. So they cannot make checkmate. So this is what? Insufficient material. Similarly, suppose your opponent has a king and at last he has a bishop also. So bishop and king cannot make checkmates alone, because one bishop is not fit for the checkmate. At least you need one more, I think, the good pieces. But one rook and one king can checkmate. Similarly, one knight and one king also not able to make checkmate. That's why rook has 5 points. Okay. So always remember, sometime what happen? Two player make agreement, so the point divided equally to each other. You can see when they play together and they find that both are play equally or whatever their personal agreement, and they just shake hand to each other and the point divided equally. So this is called the agreement. Time to examine the real time. So actually let's see, only 4 pieces apart from the pawn enter any fray are the knights, since they are only pieces that can jump over a piece, which is what? Knight. Note also the best location for the pieces of near the center. We regard the center to be complex of square highlighted with the diagram. Actually the center pieces must be who capture the center, or who cover the center. It means make a strong game. And always remember, chess game divided in 3 parts: initial game, mid game, and end game. And basically what happened, the novice player or new player play at the initial game very well. So which is what? Initial game. Then the mid game. If you maintain your mid game strong, so it may be end game good. But if your opponent make any blunder and something, so at last you recover the things. So it means what? You make end game well and you make checkmate. So always remember, game has 3 phases: initial game, mid game, and end game. Okay, and try to always try to cover the center place. If you cover the center, it means your opponent has less opportunity to move the pieces. It means if it has less opportunity to move, if you maintain your game, at last you will be the winner. Okay, so always remember, center is very important. Now the queen and bishop that can cover in such a way, these all the 2 diagonal for the queen from d1 to h5, and for the bishop from f1 to a6 are covered by them. Okay, when you start to play with e4 actually it's a opening. It's called king opening. King opening means when we have a pawn in front of the king and we started to move it. So this is basically what called king opening. There are so many openings are in chess: knight opening, king opening, raki opening. So we make a separate video for that. And today Just try to learn these all the points. And so till here I think you have no any question. If you feel any problem, any question, so just drop in comment. Definitely I try to help you. And please support us for more chess videos. Thank you so much for watching.